it's Amanda, the Pay It Forward Mom. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to be here. Last week was crazy town. My kids got out of school and every day there was something from sun up to sundown. So I was kind of radio silent. But I'm thrilled to be back. I couldn't wait to get this all set up and ready to roll today for you guys. Firstly, I wanted to bring up, I know I try to stick to like fun, light things earlier in the week, but I do have something pretty serious that I want to go into in just a moment. But just to get this out of the way, I'm totally feeling this shirt today, so I wanted to tell you about it. It's by Aftermarket, and I love how it is not symmetrical. There's no matchy-matchy at all. It's kind of flowy. Sometimes I don't like the flowiness. I feel like it can make you look bigger than you are if it's not more fitted. But I'm digging this. And of course it's a tote. I'll put my code in the thing so you can get your tote started. And I paired it with the famous Holy jeans and, to be honest, right now, my UGG slippers, which are trifling. All right, guys. So, as promised, when I first started this channel, I'm going to be delving into a lot of fundraising things because that's my passion and why I even started this channel. Someone asked the other day why I didn't just, I'm kind of known, especially where I live, as the mom prom girl, why I didn't spin off with that name. And it's very simply because mom prom, though I started the one here, so down there, I went in 50-50 commitment with a girl, so that's our project, yes, but it's not just me. Up here, I have a whole team of helpers, so I don't want to just take credit for Mom Prom as being mine, because it's certainly not. If it weren't for everyone helping me every year, it wouldn't be as awesome as it is. So I just wanted to separate myself from the two, so I didn't feel like I was taking all this credit, or I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I just felt more comfortable doing a different name. Moving on. Okay, lemonade stand is coming up. Every July, my kids do a lemonade stand for Feed More. My son, when he was very little, mentioned he wanted to give food to people who didn't have food. And I really wanted to turn it into a teaching moment and have him kind of delve into philanthropy a little bit. I think he was 3. So it was kind of parent run at that point, but it's funny because all the kids on our street and a lot of friends will even drive over to the neighborhood with their kids, and it's kind of been the same group since day one. You know, we'll get a couple of new kids every year, but you know, when they were 3, it was really the parents running the lemonade stand, and now we just kind of sit back and watch, and they run the whole show, and it makes me feel so proud. So we are starting to get together, you know, dates and flyers and such to hit social media to get ready for that. So I want to delve into that with you guys as the process begins, and I will be doing videos of how to get something like that together because it's really not complicated, and it's so important for the kids to know the value of giving back to the community, and that even if it's a small gesture, it can make a big impact. Moving on, let's go into this past weekend. So my son, for the 2nd year in a row, played sand soccer in a sand soccer tournament in Virginia Beach. And let me just say, last year I had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. It is seriously like the best weekend ever. It's so fun. Of course, my family is there, so we've got that extra added element that they get to come and watch him, and we get to spend the weekend together. But it's a blast. How can you not have fun? You're on a beach in beautiful weather, watching your child do what they love. So it doesn't get much better than that. But something happened on Saturday that I didn't find out about it until Sunday, and I cannot stop thinking about it. A family, and I don't even know who this family is. A lot of this, I know some facts are absolutely 100% true, but as far as the club they're from, I know it's local to us. This child, from what I understand, is 14, and he was playing in a game on Saturday morning, and I guess it was getting heated between the two teams. Sand soccer is actually incredibly physical, which I didn't realize until last year, and he was kind of, I don't know, I feel like there's a big difference between 8 and a 9-year-old. So we really saw it for the first time this year, all the bows flying around and some of this action. But I hear the older that they get, into the teen years, it can get pretty rough. So I guess these teams were kind of going at it pretty hard and aggressively, and one of the dads jumped off the boardwalk and ran across the sand and punched this child in the face. And he immediately took off towards the water. Police officers came out of nowhere. And this is just, again, I was at a totally different field, but these are the consistent things that I've kind of confirmed with people who are more familiar with the club. And I don't know who this family is. I don't want to know. Even if I did know, I would never share it on a platform like this. I actually love that no one's really talking about who it is, because I'm sure they're just getting inundated with hopefully support, but you never know when it comes to things like this, and I just feel like they need their privacy right now. So police officers came and arrested the offending dad, and the child was taken away in an ambulance, and as of Sunday afternoon he was still in the hospital. And I heard concussion, then I heard broken nose as well as a concussion. I'm not 100%, but I know I unfortunately have had a few concussions in my life. My daughter had a pretty nasty one when she was only 2, unfortunately, and you're not usually in the hospital for days with it just being a concussion. Who knows? I don't know all the logistics, but I do know that I have been having such a hard time with this. It's consuming my mind, like how something like this can even happen. Obviously, the person who did this has some things, I don't feel like a person in the right frame of mind would ever do something like this. But those actions of anger and ridiculousness, I can't even put labels on that sort of behavior. The lives that it impacted, not only that child and the parents, I can't even imagine being that kid's parents and watching that happen to him, but all the peers these kids have probably never thought in their lives that they could be assaulted while playing their sport. And it happened right in front of them. So not only has he impacted the child, the family, but all the onlookers, his teammates who know this kid, and it's unfathomable. But then it leads me down to other conversations, like how seriously we are taking these sports these days. I'm going to contradict myself because, as you can hear, I hardly have a voice right now because I was so into this game, and I have no pictures from the weekend. I'm kicking myself, but I was literally so present in the moment, and I do love that. I love watching him play. But how we see these things on the news all the time, where I feel like it was just a few months ago, it was on the nightly news, where a parent got in a fight with like an umpire at a kid's baseball game. It's like, what is happening? And then in the same breath, over the weekend, I was having a conversation with a mom about how seriously these kids' sports are taken, not just these tournaments, but you pretty much have this like pressure for your kid to pick their sport by such a young age. If you're not committed to something by 6 years old and pouring your heart and soul into that, then you're never going to make it, which isn't true at all, but it's how we feel. I really, really try hard to not pressure my kids. My son, he's a good soccer player, and he really wanted to quit last season, and we made him wait for quite a while before we actually said, okay, you don't have to sign up for next season. He is doing something else, so I'm not going to have him sit around. I don't care what it is. It's chess, whatever. After this week, now he wants to go back to soccer, which is kind of my point. Like, we didn't pressure him. We wanted him to honor his commitment, and we felt like he did a sufficient job at that, and he stuck it out for a lot longer than he wanted to. So then we said, okay, take a break. We talked to his coach. His coach said, if you push or if you don't let him do what he wants to do, he could end up resenting the sport, you guys. It's just not a good thing. So we did. Now he cannot wait to get this season of this new sport he's trying over with so he can go back to soccer. Whatever he chooses, if he decides he wants to do badminton instead of, I don't care. I just want the kids to be happy. But there's so much pressure. And I know the pressure that dad felt is not the same. Like that's a level of, I'd even say maybe some mental illness. I don't feel like you could ever be in a healthy frame of mind and do that to a child or anyone for that matter. So it's a different conversation, but it kind of just boils down to kids sports and what we're doing and is it healthy? And I don't know the answers to any of these things. I just felt compelled to start the conversation. And I really want to know how you guys feel about it. And if your kids are into a more competitive sport, my daughters certainly are. And I always tell everyone who asks, unless your kid is all into all-star cheer and eats, sleeps, and breathes cheerleading, I wouldn't do it. It's just so much. They do, and I love that they've found such a passion, so I'm definitely not complaining. But I just feel like it's so much different. I did musical theater as a kid, and my mom tells me, during showtime, we were at rehearsals every night. And I do remember that, but it just feels different to me now. And I don't really like it at all. Like, I want them to play and have fun and enjoy the game, and just be happy, So anyway, if you're local and you know that family whom I'm referring to, my deepest sympathies and condolences. I just can't even imagine. I'm sure the healing process physically is well underway, but emotionally, mentally, I don't know. That would probably take a bit for anyone to bounce back from. So I wish them all well. I don't even know what to say about the parent who did that. I hope they're still sitting in a jail cell in Virginia Beach, quite frankly. But in all seriousness, hopefully that person gets the help that he needs as well. So guys, let me know what you think. Is your child in a competitive sport? Have you had a good experience? Do you think it's too much, that we're putting too much pressure? And as far as the parent issues, have you guys ever seen anything like this? It's heartbreaking. It's all heartbreaking. But I just thought it would be worth talking about because it's weighing heavy on my mind. Heavy on my mind, y'all. All right. I'm going to be back later this week talking about some things. I'm still waiting on my FabFitFun box, and every day I'm checking my porch to see if it's here because I really want to open it on camera. But I have some other things I want to talk about with you, so even if it doesn't come, I'll be back later this week. I have a couple of friends who work for the county and their kids aren't out of school yet, so we've got an extra child today. Thursday, it's going to be a full house, and I have said this here, I say it a million times, and people will be like, you're crazy, but I love it. I love having all the kids here and just having fun and getting to watch them make memories. So we're gonna head out in a little bit and go to the craft store and get some things for the week. It's Father's Day week, y'all. That's one thing I wanna go into. Back when I was pregnant with our first kid, I started this Father's Day week thing where every day I'd gift Chris something different. Just small, think like a book about dads one day and world's greatest dad coffee mug the next day. Nothing crazy, but now it's kind of become a tradition. And we didn't get back in town yesterday from the tournament until late morning, and it was crazy. I felt like it was a Sunday. You know, I'm all thrown off. And last night I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, oh, today was the first day of Father's Day week, wasn't it? He's like, no worries. But anyway, it's become a tradition. I'm glad that it has, but I just need to get that on the road. So I was gonna show you guys some of the things that I love to do for him that he really enjoys later on. And again, I've missed you. I'm gonna put all my social info down. Give me a follow. Let me know what you think about this tough subject. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.